Differentiation is being able to adapt and adjust the curriculum to meet the complex needs of our learners. The learners in our school today come with varying skills, cultural backgrounds, religious backgrounds.
Our classrooms these days have so many learners that come from other countries, EAL learners who maybe English is their second, third, fourth even language, and there's so much weight in the knowledge that they carry. And differentiated learning also is a chance for us to have a conversation with them as families, to incorporate translators, to incorporate our worksheets in a way that allows them still to be successful in our Canadian environment.
I'm constantly adapting my instruction and assessment based on what my students' needs and abilities and strengths are. I may use letter trays as opposed to paper and pencil for my students to build rhyming words, for example. It saves time, it reduces frustration, and it's a different way for students to show what they know based on the outcome I'm teaching them.
It's so easy to incorporate because during my day, it just looks like me walking around the classroom, looking at what they're doing, observing their learning, talking to them, asking them questions about what they're learning, their strategies.
Observing a student in a small group or working with the group or working with the teacher is assessment. And assessment guides instruction, assessment guides the reporting, and we don't need to get caught up that it always needs to be this product, this big old project or this big written sample. And those have a place, don't get me wrong, those still need to be involved in the middle year's curriculum, but we can't just always default to it. Don't get caught up in this idea that we need to really worry about creating so many products and so many written samples, but if we have only written samples, we are disadvantaging students who might be lacking in those writing skills. So being creative and finding ways to be able to meet those outcomes without just relying on one form of assessment. So differentiating assessment is valuing that conversation is assessment.
We do assessment when we need information. So at the beginning of any lesson or the beginning of any unit, it's important to do some kind of a pre-assessment so we can determine what the prior knowledge of the students is, what their prior experiences are with the material, what their worldviews are with the information that we'll be bringing. Once we have that pre-assessment information, we usually have a better idea of what our students are going to be capable of.
Time can be a huge barrier. It is challenging to properly and appropriately check in with all of my students based on their needs and abilities and what they need to show the outcome I'm teaching them. In order to overcome this barrier, I use a lot of small group check-ins. Observational checklists are really handy. They focus on the what and the who in my classroom. So I am able to do a quick snapshot of their learning based on a quick check-in, what they can show me based on the outcome I'm teaching.
For me, I truly believe that it involves a lot of planning ahead of time. So it's just like, what is the essential learning goal? What is that key nugget that our students need to learn? And some of the roads are straight, sometimes they're windy, sometimes we dance, but at the end of the day, we all get there. And so for us, it's just how do we support all of our students? So we did a beating exercise. All of our students wanted to make a Orange Shirt Day pin. And so for some, it was hard. It was hard to beat. It was hard to kind of figure out how to do this. And an adapted way was that we found an alternate with stickers. So there was another way that the students could create a stickered pin so they could still wear it and still participate and still have that Orange Shirt Day pin and still be included in that day in the celebration and part of that reconciliation. But obviously it just looked a little bit differently. Differentiated learning is an act of respect, is love, is a chance for us as teachers to say, I see you as a student, you are a learner, we can do this together and we can walk on this road in this learning journey.